Hey there, it's Aaron. In this video, I'm going to show you how I find endless vintage images to work on and practice with in Adobe Photoshop. And also, I just like to generate them because they look really cool. But the way that I generate my images is I'll come in here to Firefly and ask for vintage photograph of, let's say, a woman in 1936. Let's see what comes back here. I'm going to immediately take it off of art and put it on none. And I'm going to change it as well to portrait, since we're going to be coming up with some nice portraits, I'm hoping. Let's see what we get back here. So number one, nice, well-formed hand. I appreciate that, AI. Number two, number three, number four. So really nice images, nice and striking. I think I'd download this one for later colorization and work. This one as well is usable for some practice. There's some flaws, issues, lines, needs colorizing. So there's one set. Then we could go here and ask for something from 1965. And it does seem as though the farther back in time you go, the more distress, creasing, and things like that the AI will add to the image. Here we see a classic where it becomes faded and blurred at the bottom. See that in a lot of older images. Nice, nice, and also nice. I download her too. And for some variation, let's ask for a man in 1926. And we'll see what comes back for the gentleman in 1926. And we'll also maybe see what needs to be added to make this look like it's from 1926. So nice images, but you could also say that these images were taken in 1956 or something. I think what would help is if we add some flaws and some creased paper. And often this will help to add some elements, some streaking, dirt, graininess. Loves to add these terrible frames, but very authentic looking. It's a very casual pose for 1920s. Interesting, interesting. And that is definitely different. Not very pleasant composition to work on though. I think I'll refresh and generate another set here and see if we can get something that is a little bit more visually pleasing. Well, that's not fair. Some of those images were great, but just not quite what I'm looking for. That is cool because it has this, it almost looks like a newspaper clipping. 2, 3, this almost looks like something from like a driver's license photo. 4, I'm going to take this one. And I'm also going to take this one. And you may see these images in future videos as I retouch them. I'm going to show you one thing here, which is that if I ask for a couple in 1926, same prompt, just changing it from man or woman to couple, we will see how the results come back. I'm expecting sort of mixed results here. So what do we have? Not too bad. I mean, it definitely looks vintage. Not too bad, but you'll see that his head looks sort of like it's a little bit out of proportion, just kind of plopped on there. Same here, there's something not convincing about her head. This, I mean, you can see again her head compared to the rest of the image isn't as muted and grainy. So what I experience, and I don't know if this is true or not, but what I seem to experience is that if I'm asking for an image with more than one subject, the AI has a difficult time because it wants to identify a subject and then almost the background and surroundings around that subject. I think that makes sense. And again, I'm not sure if that is what's happening, but that is what I experience. So that is why I'm more inclined to ask for a photograph of a woman in, let's try even 1880, but we'll say no smile because it seems to like to send people back smiling, but those older images did not typically have smiles because it would have taken a lot of energy to hold a smile for several minutes as the exposure happened. So number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. I'm not calling that a success. The age of the wardrobe just does not, it's not convincing for 1880s. How about if I specify a little bit more? We'll see what happens. So this is a way, though, that as you can see, you can generate endless images to work on. I'm still feeling like this isn't quite as, it's just not quite as bad as we were hoping for here. I want images that are just terrible, that have all kinds of issues. So let's see if we can get something back that's horrible. Well, at least we have some sepia that would be an issue to work on during colorization. So that might have some challenges to work with. And this one isn't too bad. I think kind of boring, not enough issues. Let's do one more. Let's do one from 1993. We'll take out the issues though. We'll just make it, take out the smile, or we'll add back a smile. We'll say it's muted and misty. And I think that will, by adding those words in there, I think that it will give it a bit of a faded, older snapshot look. Yeah, kind of what I was looking for. Maybe a little bit heavy on the mistiness, but that image, for example, looks to me like something that was taken 30 years ago, and the image has deteriorated somewhat. This looks like an image that I would have taken out of a photo album from that era. Maybe slightly maybe not enough saturation in the colors, but that is one that can be worked on as well. So there you go. I think that you get the idea. You can just type in here vintage photograph of whatever subject you would like, the year, and then decide whether or not you want to add any finishing touches or finishing devastation to the image. And it is a lot of fun. The images that come back themselves are usually quite fun and quite striking, and often interesting snapshots of what it might have been like to live in that era. And just remember that if you want to find an image of a couple, Firefly may not be the best platform for that because it seems to like to choose only one subject and then build around that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then like and subscribe to encourage me to make more of them. And I will see you next time.